the Pedal Commander pedal tuning app, and basically this is a throttle controlling system. It's going to change the responsiveness of your gas pedal. So it adjusts the throttle response of your vehicle. And this is available for all late model Porsches, the 911s, the Cayman Boxsters, Macans, Cayennes, Panameras. They have it all. Fitments for all Porsches, and it also has Bluetooth enabled. So it's pretty neat where you can adjust the different maps from your smartphone. Let me just open up this box. Well packaged, has a little install guide. It's very simple. It just plugs in between the harness where your gas pedal, the sensor that sits behind the gas pedal is. They include a little sticker and a little kind of like baby wipe type deal. Clean your hands after you're done. Like I said, it's pretty well packaged here. It has a little bit of a case where this can click into, so you can install this. And so again, this sits between the sensor. It's kind of like a piggyback hookup. Just plugs right in the harness, so 100% plug and play. And then as you can run up, there's some included Velcro things to stick it to the side, and this clip if you want to keep it in a clip. A lot of times people put this kind of underneath the dash or kind of on the side panel there underneath. This has manual adjustments on it, so you can change the modes from Eco, City, Sport, Sport Plus, and then kind of go up or down levels. So this just changes the responsiveness of the throttle mapping. Again, you can download the app and control it via Bluetooth, which a lot of people enjoy. So this is going to, essentially give your Porsche a better, sharper throttle response. And to me, it's a very important product because Porsche's normal comfort mode is super sluggish and unresponsive. The only way to get really good throttle and sharp response in a Porsche is to go into Sport or Sport Plus mode if your car's equipped with it. However, if you have a PDK, you're going to get more aggressive transmission shift points. So if you're kind of daily driving, you just want a little bit more responsiveness and you don't want to have the gears hang for a while, this is a really great way to do it. It's going to give you a lot more response, especially with a lot of the modern, newer Porsches with turbos. It's going to help that turbo respond a little quicker and the car's going to feel quicker. It's not actually going to be any faster. It's just going to feel quicker and more sporty. So you kind of get the response of like a sport mode with kind of the everyday comfort driving and fuel efficiency of staying in a comfort mode. And then obviously as you go up to the modes, it'll mirror with it, so it'll get more and more aggressive if you want something that's really sharp. And that's where this unit can also shine, is as you go into kind of their Sport Plus mode. It's going to be very very precise with the input of the throttle. So really interesting product. Like I said, the Bluetooth is a really cool feature. That way you can kind of install this, tuck it up under your dash if you want to kind of keep it concealed, and you never have to pull it out to adjust it manually. Obviously the buttons are there, but the app controls it. So again, this is the Pedal Commander pedal box tuner, and it's available for all Porsches, the Cayman, Boxster, 911, Macan, Cayenne, and Panamera. Alright, so quick install on the Porsche Macan. It's on Macan S, but they all work the same. Do pay attention to the install instructions they provide. Obviously they're generic, but make sure the ignition's off, your key fob's at least 35 feet away, and let the car power down to drain any battery that's left in any of the wiring for about 5 minutes. So just turn it off, take your key inside, leave it sitting for 5 minutes. Here you have the pedals in the Macan S. Obviously your brake pedal and your accelerator. The harness you're going to need to get to is that sucker right there. Now you have two options. You can bend this plastic panel back and get your hand in behind there, maybe if you have smaller hands, or there is one bolt that holds the accelerator pedal in place. I'm going to go with the bolt, and I'll show you that in just a second. Should mention it's a T25 Torx bit. If you don't have one, you can pick one up from any store that sells tools, AutoZone, etc. Even like a Walmart would probably have them. If you don't have Torx bits, they're kind of like a star pattern. Very useful if you have a Porsche, because Porsche uses predominantly a T25 and a T30 with all the fastenings they have. So if you don't have one, I'd recommend picking up a set. You can buy them as a kit. I have a 6-inch extension. You might be able to get away with a 3-inch, but a 6-inch or longer would be desirable. Okay, this is going to be a little hard. I used to play football, not the smallest of people. Here's your accelerator pedal. There's not a lot of space in here, I apologize. Right there's that T25 Torx bit that holds the pedal on. So all you need to do is stick that extension up in there, unloosen it, and the whole pedal is going to drop, and we'll show that in just a second. Alright, so that's fully loose, and all you have to do is just pull this pedal down. There goes the bolt. So there's the bolt that goes in, so that'll just drop out once you fully loosen it. And like I said, you just kind of pull down the pedal and the whole pedal assembly will come down. And let me just kind of, sorry that light's bouncing around. I don't have 3 hands, I apologize. Right up there's that connector. So you just need to pull that connector off, and the pedal commander is going to go in between those 2 things. And I should mention, this connector uses this red tab. You just have to push up on it. Flathead would help. And then voila, this comes right off. So that's the connector, and that's the top. So the pedal commander is going to go in between. Let's take it out of the box. All right, so just to show you, here is the pedal, and this end's going to go into it. I'm sorry, it's hard to hold this thing. So you just press down on that. You'll hear a click. This side, known as the female side, is just going to go up into the factory clip right there. It's got ridges where the release will go, and then just one little tab on that side. So it can only go on the one way. Where the tab is, you want to just slide it up. All right, so after that end is in, you'll hear a click, and then just push down that red tab. That keeps it locked in. And then now we just have to mount back this pedal. I'm going to keep this to the side, so you have a few options. There's a lot of places back here in which you can put it if you want it totally out of sight. Some people might want to have access to it. Again, this is kind of personal preference. I apologize for my finger getting in the way of this. I'm trying to just shoot a quick video. It comes with some, like a 3M type deal if you want to kind of mount it to the side. What I personally would do is just route it up through the back of that plastic into this section below the steering wheel. But again, these are all Bluetooth, so you don't need this, but if you like it, just kind of you can make your adjustments here and change modes, turn it on or off, etc. So sorry, just one quick clarification. It's actually a T30 Torx bit. I apologize, I was using T25. A T25 will get it off, but obviously you want to use the correct size, so it's a T30. There's a kind of 2 pieces on the back of the pedal. One that has kind of like an insert that holds it to, for lack of a better term, the pedal support up there. And then on the bottom, there is kind of a way you can slide it in. So what I would do is kind of line the bolt up through the top, and then basically just kind of push it against the pedal support and push up, and you'll feel it just kind of lock in place. It's, you know, not going to lock. You need the bolt to kind of lock the top in, but it should be fairly stable where you don't have to hold the pedal. So it'll sit there on that kind of platform support, and then you just need to tighten that bolt up here. Okay, so just to show you how this works, obviously with your phone, you can just pull up the app and pair it to the app. The app's very simple, but if you want to use the physical buttons, pressing it once will turn the power on. So I think by default it'll go to city mode. You just click this button again. It goes to sport, sport plus. But when you're in a mode, you can go plus or minus. I'm sorry to get my hand in the way there. You see this kind of takes it up a level. So you basically have like 1 through 8 essentially. Like you have a base 1, and then you can go up 4, down 4. That kind of changes the aggressiveness. So normal Porsche comfort mode car, obviously, you know, got my foot into it at probably like 25% throttle, pretty slow. I'll go ahead and kick this into city. Right off the bat, you'll notice the throttle response changes quite dramatically. I'll go into sport. Again, that's got a nice, very nice responsiveness, kind of the base sport. It all depends on, you know, your driving style, you know, what you like, what kind of feel you like. Let me go to Sport Plus. Yeah, that one reacts pretty quick. I'm gonna slap it down into manual mode. It's a little harder with automatic cars, to be honest with you. because sometimes the transmission is trying to think. But I mean, if you just want to feel the pure difference, now of course when you're driving it's fine, but yeah, Sport Plus. Goodbye any throttle lag. I mean, the slightest bit of touch will get you going. So I'm gonna drop that back into, just kind of test this in manual mode. Sport, I kind of like the Sport. Yeah, Sport's got a really nice, not too aggressive, very nice sporty feel. I mean, honestly, the way the car should come. Now, I'm gonna go to Sport mode on the car. And so, Sport mode on the car and Sport mode on the pedal commander. And I'm sorry, this is probably the worst quality video imaginable. I'm just shooting with my iPhone. But yeah, oh my God, yes. That feels great. The nice thing is it's gonna work with the Porsche drive mode. So like Sport feels great in the Porsche comfort mode, but to show you in kind of Sport, like this just like moderate throttle, and holy cow, yeah, you get way into the boost quicker. It really does get rid of all that, you know, unwanted lag. And effectively, it's not really gonna, you know, take away turbo lag, so to speak, but the Macan really doesn't have much turbo lag. Most of it's really in the response. It's mostly in the throttle response is what kind of makes it feel laggy, because it takes a while for the throttle to kind of catch up. And let me go back into comfort mode. Again, still in Sport mode with the pedal commander. And this is just, I'm sorry, I'm still in manual mode. This is just so much better. I mean, you're probably gonna waste a little more gas if you keep it in that mode, because you're just into boost so much easier. Let me drop it down to city and just kind of get a feel for like the everyday kind of. Let me throw it back into automatic, kind of the everyday throttle response. You know, potentially driving to work or something like that. Run into the grocery store, whatever you guys do in your Macans. So that one has, it's definitely better than stock, but I imagine if, you know, you go through and tune it up a little bit, it probably feels pretty good. I'm just gonna jump into Sport. I like Sport. Yeah. Now it's gonna, effectively it amplifies the throttle, so it's gonna probably kick the transmission down a little more because it senses more throttle. But where this thing's really happy is Sport with Sport, and that's just, yeah, that feels really good. And I really like it, just personally. I really mostly drive manual transmission cars, so you know, I guess manual just feels better to me. But anyways, in manual mode, this thing is really nice. I'm just gonna kind of slow it down a second. I'm sorry, I'm trying to drive a car and do this. I'm being very careful, by the way, on these private roads. But this thing just gets into the boost so much more. Like, oh, just, yeah, that feels really good. That's proper Porsche feeling, in my opinion. Where I think the Macan personally just falls a little flat if you don't have the Sport Chrono package and are in Sport Plus. But the problem with Sport Plus, in my opinion, is, you know, it's really kind of a race mode, and so, you know, your transmission is hanging, you know, high revs, and this mode is really fun as kind of a daily. I'm gonna throw this back into comfort mode on the Porsche settings, still in Sport mode on the pedal commander. Kind of as a daily, you know, driver, you know, you just want to do a little of that. I mean, that's like a little pass, a little bit of the pedal, and you just want to kind of get in a boost and pass whoever you got on the highway or wherever you are, or just feel your car a little bit. I mean, this is so much more fun. So much more fun to drive. I mean, you know, it's a simple upgrade, but this is probably how 90% of people, you know, are gonna drive. Is, you know, I'm in automatic mode. It's kind of hanging the revs a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm in manual mode. I apologize. Go back into automatic. Yeah, it's gonna, in automatic, it's definitely gonna drop down a little bit quicker, which is good if you want to get on it. Let's turn it here. Yeah, really quick. So let me go back to manual mode. Like this is kind of the, I'll just call it the spirited driving. You're not going crazy. I mean, these are public roads, but hey, some of these public roads right there, you know, they have some of those windies, and you know, here we go, nice little turn and back again. You can probably hear those Flat 6 Motorsports diverter valves that are coming soon. But you know, just on roads like this, you're not going to kill anybody. You just want to feel the vehicle a little bit, you know, and that's where this is a really nice, because you're not, you know, hanging the RPMs up there like you're on a circuit, you know what I mean? This is just kind of really fun back road driving. I'm sure, you know, zigging in and out of traffic, excuse me, is kind of a similar sensation, but this is where I think if you are an enthusiast of driving and you're not going balls to the walls, you know, here on back roads, public roads like this, you're gonna really enjoy driving your Macan a lot more with this on there, because it really makes it feel just significantly better in the throttle response department. And that was in comfort mode on the sport, on the Porsche. Yeah, with the sport, you know, this kind of holds the gear down a little bit more, and the response is really good, because Porsche programs that the turbo response, the wastegate, to be a little bit more lively in the sport mode. And this is a cool feeling. I'm not gonna lie. As I mentioned, I mostly drive manual cars. I don't, you know, particularly like, even though the PDK is a very nice transmission, it just doesn't do it for me as far as engagement. You know, I guess once you kind of are a classic type guy when it comes to the manual transmission, you just stick with it. But this really makes it feel a lot more fun. And now I'm barely giving it any gas. Let me throw it back into comfort mode. And so, you know, you're cruising along normal, and then it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna drop down quicker because it thinks it's getting more throttle than it really is. I mean, that's basically what the pedal commander does, is it amplifies the signal, so it gets it there faster and kind of louder, so to speak, and so it's going to drop it down a little quicker. So if you like that, if you want to accelerate, I mean, essentially, if you want to accelerate quicker, it's going to help you accelerate quicker in conditions where, you know, this isn't a 0 to 60 or quarter mile thing, right? I mean, this is, you know, I'm driving and I push the gas pedal, and what does the car do? So as long as you have those expectations, of course, this thing's not going to make your car faster. It's just going to feel quicker. It's going to give you a lot better driving sensation. Excuse that tire pressure light. I got to top off one of these tires by 2 pounds. Things get pretty specific. But this is really nice, this sport mode. You know, it definitely makes the pedal feel a lot better. I think, you know, depending on what your driving style is like, and what I really like about the pedal commander versus some other units that are on the market, is you have basically 8 modes and like 8 different configurations in each mode. So you can go a little more aggressive, a little more conservative, and I think, like I said, depending on your driving style, you're going to want to like probably spend a little time with and just tune it. And the great thing is you can do it right from your phone with the app, and it remembers the settings. So if you have it off, it stays off. If you have it, you know, in whatever mode, it stays in that mode. So typically what I like to do is just kind of leave it off in another, sorry, I'm speaking on another vehicle, not the Macan. I'll leave it off, and then when I want to kind of feel a little more, I'll turn it on. If I had the Macan as a daily driver, I would likely probably just leave it on and in sport mode all the time, to be honest with you. It just makes the car feel like a Porsche, and makes it feel like it should, and especially in a, you know, manual mode on the Macan, it just feels so much better. I mean, The throttle is way more lively. It just, you know, kind of snaps. The boost hits really nice. And we're running, you know, Cobb tune on it now. We do so much testing with this vehicle that I honestly don't know which map is loaded on there. It might just be the OTS map. It might be our stage 1 map. We were doing a lot of testing with the diverter valve, so I forgot which map's on there, but the combination of the tune and this is phenomenal. Obviously you're getting more boost with, a lot more boost with the Cobb access port on there, or any tune. I suspect, you know, this is true in the Macan and other vehicles I've tested, is if you have a piggyback unit, I would definitely recommend one of these, because the biggest disadvantage of a piggyback is it kind of has that latency, and it, you know, takes a little second to kind of get going, and this really, I think, will help you know, kind of close that gap a little bit. Certainly, I think best in class, you know, the Cobb access port is definitely there as far as from a tuning standpoint, but when you add this on, you know, in stock configuration, it's definitely going to do the same thing it's doing now. I just happen to have a little more boost and fuel and some fun stuff coming with the Cobb tune that if you don't have the Cobb access port, you'd have. So like I said, I'd recommend anybody who's just trying to liven up their driving experience. You know, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was very, very raw. Just shot with a cell phone camera here, and I wanted to get online quick because quite a few guys are asking about how does it install. So I thought I'd give you a little quick impression of driving it around. Again, this is the pedal commander. These are available for all Porsches, and the really nice thing about, you know, for the guys out there with multiple Porsches, the connector for the Macan is the exact same for every single Porsche except the Cayenne. So if you have a 911, a Cayman, or any other Porsche or the Panamera as well, it's going to take the same connector. So there's a series of years, I think it's the 958 and the 957 Cayennes it won't work with, but every other Porsche will. So you know, hopefully a lot of people in the Porsche family stay in the Porsche family, so you can certainly disconnect that and use it in another car. Obviously, with the install process, it takes, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes. You know, don't get frustrated. It's kind of tight down there. I have pretty broad shoulders, so I'm not sure, you know, some other people might be able to kind of squiggle in there a little bit easier. But it's really not a hard install and uninstall. Certainly, I mean, it's not as easy as plugging an OBD port or anything like that. But so as far as taking it from one car to the other, you know, would require probably, you know, 10 minutes or so to uninstall it and 10 to put it in your new car. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.